We're joined now by Clive Mallison, Director of Virtual Energy and Power. Clyde, good evening to you and thank you for your time. We have a Cabinet meeting tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be an announcement afterwards. Is there anything the President or Cabinet could announce now that would really make any difference to where we are?
Yes, I think there are things that they could announce, but this sounds very déjà vu-ish to me, if there is such a term. It was almost 3 years ago to the month, or maybe just slightly less than 3 years ago, when the President flew back from an AU meeting when we were having our first bout of stage 6 emergency. And the questions that really should be asked, but of course don't help now, is what happened in those 3 years. That's really, but I guess that's history, but it's a very sad history.
So, I mean, there'll be a Cabinet meeting, there'll be discussion about what happened, the breakdown of the units. Talking about the breakdown of Eskom's units doesn't help anyone. I mean, as you've explained and as others have explained, if you run a car too hard for too long, you must expect this kind of problem. Words aren't going to make a difference.
Yeah, we've got fewer units. Each week that goes by, we have fewer units having to run at higher utilization factors in order to carry the load. And we've reached a point now where we simply don't have enough. And we're basically -5 at the moment, 5,000 or -6. I think it's stage 5 load shedding at the moment. I'm not accustomed to odd stages of load shedding. But it's basically saying that we're trying to deliver 5,000 megawatts less than we should be delivering. And we're battling to do that.
We've had some commentary today that actually Eskom is so big, the people who run it, that no one can really know what's going on. And that's why we have these surprises all the time. Do you think that could be the case, that it's just simply too big for anyone to really manage?
No, I think we're just moving into chaos theory or whatever you want to call it. I think it's almost 3 years ago when I was interviewed on CNBC Africa, and I said, when you lose trust in the coal fleet, or when you lose trust in your car, that's when you sell it. Not when it's old or whether it's using a lot of petrol. It's when you lose trust. And I was saying 3 years ago, as far as I could see, I and perhaps others had lost trust in the Eskom coal fleet. And basically one hates it. As a predictor of some kind of future, one loves to be correct. But I must say, I wish with all my heart that I hadn't have predicted correctly. And we're just seeing the trend. It's just a trend. It's a downward trend. And I don't believe it's going to easily be reversible because, as I've said many times, you can fix things that are broken, but you can't catch up missed maintenance, which implies that having missed that maintenance, in order to fix it now, is going to take longer, cost more, and be more difficult.
Clyde, you suggested really the only way out of this is for citizens who can to make a contribution. In other words, to generate their own electricity where they can. How would that work? What difference would that make? I mean, would that really, the cost to government would be nothing. The cost to citizens would be quite a lot.
Yeah, look, I think what I don't like about that is it allows those who have the means to do that. I'm always trying to get to a position where those who currently can't afford electricity, let alone whether they've got it or not, are put in a better position. So although that can help, it seems to me to be I don't want to say selfish, because I guess if you're taking the load off Eskom, you're allowing Eskom to supply to others. But then you have the whole cost factor that comes into it. And the more people who take themselves off, the higher the cost seems to go for the others that are not able to take themselves off. And I just don't think that dichotomy of a separation of the price path of electricity bodes well for reducing our Gini index in South Africa.
Clive Mallison from Virtual Energy and Power, thanks very much indeed for your time on the Pulse. Do appreciate it.